Hey, DC. DC,
Good
good morning.
good morning. I forgot to push the mute button. Oh, I gotta send you that picture too.
Okay. And it's so crazy because I legit just finished watching the episode like just now. I was watching it through my computer and I even heard when you popped up in here. And I was like, dang, is it already time? But I finished it.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. I did have my notes over here. Now, overall, what did you think of this week?
This week on the series, because I watched it all on Friday evening. So I was actually had it back on. This week was a little crazy because I don't know. It can go two ways with me. One of them looked like it could have been scripted, and
Uh
then
huh.
one part looked like it could have been scripted. But the majority of it, it was wild. It was crazy. It
So
was
now,
it was surprising.
well, and that's the thing, cause like for me, when I think about this week, well, yeah, I would say that it was an interesting week. As far as the HOH goes,
Right.
that definitely wasn't on nobody's list. And actually, let me see if I had already loaded the picture. Where is that? Yeah, I think I already had loaded our thing with our predictions.
Yeah.
But okay, well, let's go. Let me start at the top notes. So,
I
so
just
on
sent you the other
Sunday,
picture.
okay. So on Sunday, it began with the icons. They got blindsided with lyric leaving, and then the competition, the wild competition started.
Right.
hmm Now, just the wild competition alone. Remember, we did our predictions about it last week, and nobody, and I do mean nobody, um, picked Lala.
Nope.
And I actually thought about I thought about y'all when I saw that that woman won because I knew that Lisa was probably yelling up in y'all house or something.
Babe. Yeah. She talking about you when Lala won. How you talk about Lala?
Yeah, because I was shocked
I
to
mean,
see her win, and then I was wondering if Lisa was still gonna have bad words for her.
Well, no, you. It's not a bad word. It's
uh oh.
dislike her. The only person I like is the chick that was HOH last week. Cause she a mean girl and was talking about people. I don't dislike her.
Okay,
She won. I like yeah, win for the black women. Oh, black legs. Go ahead.
okay, okay. Well, that's
I
good.
don't dislike her. I just think that I don't say act her age because hell, I don't act my age. You know what I'm saying? But I think she look
She a little
slow. Cause it's like she want to act her age, but she want to be 25. It's something off about her. I don't dislike her, and I was happy that she won because shit. I wish I could hold on to a wall for a second. Shit. The
Right. Yeah, that wild competition is typically very, very legendary for Big Brother. And I was honestly very shocked that she won. I saw I guess with here um with my other notes as far as the wild competition, well, I guess I I really only have a few notes that happened at the beginning of Sunday. So I guess I do my beginning notes, DC, and then we can talk more about the wall.
Okay.
So I have Kamu is trying to figure out who flipped the vote. He no longer trusts the tool shed. Also Angela
Lie.
lied to Haley's face about her vote, and Dee and Devins worked hard to flip the vote at the last minute. Lala was running around acting confused about her vote. And then Chuck vowed to sniff out the snake in his alliance. And he said that him and Yash shouldn't trust Kamu. Meanwhile, Yash really don't trust Chuck.
Right. I got all of that. Same thing.
Okay, okay. Yeah, with them 3 right there, I just feel like I don't know what to say about Chuck. When he first was introduced at the beginning, I had high hopes for him up in the game,
Mhm.
but I really think that he put all his eggs in that Haley basket, and I think that he really got too comfortable with them running the house for the most part, or him feeling like they were running the house. Because quiet as it's kept, they not running the house. It's actually them icons that's running the house, but they thought that they were running the house.
Mhm. They sure did.
Yeah. The icons are really the ones that's making the moves and planting the seeds and got people doing certain things. But meanwhile, Chuck and Haley are foolish enough to think that it's all their own doing. And it's not they doing at all. It's the icons kind of puppeteering them and playing in the background. Um, Now when the wild competition started, you know who was out first, huh?
You ain't gotta say it. We know. Lisa just made us a prime example. If we can hang on that wall for 5 seconds, we good.
Right, that is true. Well, Angela was the first person to fall off of there. Who knew? I was actually shocked too, that Taylor didn't last so long. Which is kind of mind blowing that Taylor was out second, but then Lala held on the longest. That's wild.
Right.
But I did take note of the individual times that they did stay on there. So Taylor was out at 34 minutes, which ain't bad. And
Nope.
then Barrett was able to last 46 minutes. Devins lasted 48 minutes. And then D was out at 54 minutes. Now, Melody was able to stay up there for an hour and 4 minutes. Um, Mallory stayed there for an hour 13 minutes. Then it was like they were just falling like roaches
Yes,
because
they
Chuck
were.
was out. Yeah, Chuck was out an hour 14 minutes. Then Yash was out an hour 16 minutes. Drew was out.
Hold up.
Uh,
Drew
mhm.
Drew was hanging on for dear life. He was trying to get it back. He was trying. He was trying.
Yeah, when he almost slipped off of there.
He was swinging for a second.
And he ended up being out an hour and 23 minutes, with Kamu being the last person out because it was Kamu and Lala duking it out. And I think Kamu kind of lost his grip too and was trying to swing back, but he just wasn't able to. And Lala won. And it was very monumental that she won at 58 years old, that wall, because that wall is something else. Not only that, like what I noted to you last week, it's rare that a woman wins this competition. And quite frankly, I would have to look at the stats to see if a woman has ever won
Hmm.
and if Lala is in fact the first black woman to ever win. Not to mention the first black woman to ever win at her age. Cause
Correct.
I will have to go see cause I know it's somewhere on Twitter or somewhere on the Big Brother website where they probably document all of that to tell, if this was the first time ever that the black woman won.
Right. What's up, Miss Whistledown? Good morning.
Oh, I wasn't even looking at the chat. Miss
No,
Whistledown was looking for us yesterday. Good morning, Whistledown. And thank you so much for the jewels. Okay, so Miss Whistledown did say she doing too much. You think Lala was? Well, I will say as the week progressed, Lala was getting too big for her britches. And I said, this is the classic sign of HOH-itis. That's what they call it, where the person get HOH one time and they forget that after that week is somebody else's turn. They still think they controlling everything even after they don't won. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lisa just pulled it up. She said Taylor won season 24.
Okay, Taylor did. Oh, okay. So Taylor was the first black woman to win the wild comp. Okay.
he's the oldest.
Okay.
Lala's the oldest.
Okay. So then Lala is the oldest one. That's still a really good accomplishment because I can't even knock her on that. With that wall, I probably would have fell out the same time as Angela too. I hate on Angela, but that wall ain't no joke, and especially when it started tilting you and leaning you around and then throwing all that like gush
Slide.
and stuff up on
Yeah.
you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with everybody celebrating Lala winning her HOH, I think a lot of people were shocked in the house. Mallory got the BB time capsule and she went up in there and got a punishment. I
Right,
for the Yeah, for the life of me, I don't see how them icons was back to back. Them two survivors
right.
could figure out the power, but then Mallory couldn't figure out the pattern in order for her to get something decent.
And I just knew she was gonna get it because she's a little smart. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Yeah, and
Miss Whistledown said Drew looked like a wet fish.
oh Drew. Oh, I see this new picture that you just gave, DC. Hold on, let me grab it. I gotta screenshot it. It's look a little blurry on my side, but hold on, let me see.
Hmm.
Let's see right here so we could put it up there. All right. So with this one, and then let me go ahead and load it. So what other notes do you have while I'm doing this?
Um, dang, I was checking the picture. You said it was blurry. Hold on.
Oh, no, no. Well, I think it was the way I had clicked on it because I had to screenshot it on my computer to bring it up here. So let me see. There we go.
You weren't supposed to put that right there yet. That's the end.
Oh, I thought you sent it to me to put up in here then with what we're looking at now, but I'll go and get this picture then. Okay. I need to put some type of visual picture for the people to see, especially while we talking about them by name.
Right.
But all right, so let's see. I talked about the Adam and Eve punishment. So Mallory got the punishment and had to be chained up with Melody. And
I think
that
that was even a punishment.
well, you don't think so? Because the thing that make that a punishment is because first off, they get tired of wearing it. Second off, being changed up with the person 24/7. And that's really the only thing that you could wear.
Yeah, but they ain't had to do nothing. Like Angela had to walk around with a dang on weeble wobble. Eh,
But I think I would prefer the egg than to have to walk around in that type of suit. And that's why I'm always curious when it comes to those punishments because how would they have spent it if Angela had got that one? Ain't no way they're going to have a plus size woman like Angela walking around with that on. And that's why
maybe,
I'm just like, huh?
maybe, maybe if Big Brother picked who they had to walk with, because she got to walk with her friend.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying how they would have done it. I will say though, the downside of that and the reason why it's a punishment is because you can't really talk game outside of that person. That person is in on every motherfucking conversation that you have.
Right.
You can't even really go hide in the storage room without them. They everywhere up on you. And I think that's the supposed to be the reason that makes it a punishment because um I honestly couldn't imagine having that punishment and you end up being on the block. So
Mm,
then you and that person got to be on the block.
right. Okay. I get it. I see where you at.
Mhm.
Let's
So
see.
also I have my note about Taylor and Lala talking up in the HOH room. I do kind of feel bad for Taylor cuz I couldn't imagine having to do all the work for my person in the alliance. Like I want somebody to be able to strategize to help me figure out how to maneuver up in the game more so than me feeling like I got to play my game and that person's game. I think it's too much to have to hold somebody's hand. And even with Taylor calling out that Lala was confused, I thought it was crazy that Lala tried to turn that and tried to turn it and reverse it like that's been her game the whole time. Like
Right.
it's and nobody is believing her when she say it, but
That's her end game. She say. She gonna play dumb, but she really she dumb.
Well, and not only that, but like how she, Haley was her target. I don't know that she if she don't understand that her HOH, I wonder if it was a success or not. I guess it was a success to a certain degree.
Yeah, but see, the thing about it is, how you go from, all right, you can't stand this lady Haley, right? And
Mhm.
you want to get her out, and then what's her name? Tell her trying to tell you how to do it, and then you just do it the opposite.
Mhm.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to say too much. I'm trying to keep it, in this part of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, overall, we're gonna have to really be talking about the week because my next note is that Lala nominated Barry, Haley, and Chuck. So those three ended up hitting the block, but Barrett wasn't too worried about being on the block because he was assured that he was a pawn. Plus, he wasn't too worried about being on the block because he was on the block with them two.
Right,
Yeah, I will say that they were kind of being viewed as a duo, but how Chuck kept running around talking about we're not a showmance. Nobody said y'all was a showmance. They think
right,
y'all a duo, you know,
right.
a powerhouse that will continue to dominate and help protect each other. I guess I'm really just shocked that Chuck ended up on the wrong side of the black people because on the one hand, when I found out, well, actually, before I even watched the episodes, I was on YouTube and I ended up scrolling past Uppity. Uppity just be sharing everything on her wall, child.
I,
But I saw when she said all she said all skin folk ain't kin folk, something like that as it relates to Lala and Chuck. So when I saw her post like something like that, I was like, okay, so Lala had that one. You know what I'm saying? For
right.
me to see her put that. And I think I said thank you for the gift, Miss Whistledown. So Whistledown said Lala is doing too much and Taylor is going to drop her talking so much. What's good, Shauna? Member? Shauna said, I'm still salty about Jason being gone. I have to fight my bitchy self to keep watching the season. Justin for Jason. His eviction is straight homophobic. That's a joke. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shauna, I forgot that you be watching it. And I'm pretty sure that you was happy that Jason was there representing for the community. I had a love hate relationship with him. At first, I thought I was gonna like him until he was not being genuine. When I realized he wasn't so genuine, especially as it relates to Angela, because that really did hurt Angela feelings.
Right.
Then that's whenever I started second guessing him. But I will say that you can tell that the season lost something that he's not there because he would definitely had some comedic timing and kind of made the show more interesting and entertaining. It's not really too many. It's not a funny person there. At best, Devins is now the comedic timing type of person um since Jason left. So Miss Whistledown is saying that Chuck's mistake was Haley. Okay. I think you're right. I will say though that at least he was able to get with somebody and be loyal to that person. But in certain instances, it almost felt like Chuck was on the sinking ship and he just refused to jump off the ship.
Right.
Um, because once they are nominated, it's already a given that Barrett is the pawn and that Haley is the target. Um, the fact that Chuck was just so the fact that he was just so comfortable in the house that he didn't even really try to campaign for himself like talking about. I mean, he just thought he had it smooth sailing. I don't know if maybe he was comfortable thinking he was going to win the veto. I'm not sure. But Chuck and Haley were blindsided when they got on the block and Taylor was expressing that she was happy about it because um she said that she was happy about it, and I caught a note of her lying to Haley, saying that Camu might be the back door plan. And I guess that was supposed to get keep Haley at bay. Camu, however, has totally jumped the ship, which might not be a bad idea for him. And I do like the fact that he is jumping the ship in favor of Lala and Taylor, because they really gonna need some type of protection up in that house going forward.
Right.
Since they no longer have a man playing to protect them like when they had Jason up in there.
Right. Yeah. But you see when the part when Lala she was trying to go out, she was gonna go after Devin. Did you see that part?
Um,
She was gonna go after Devin at first.
no, well, if I didn't put a note about it, no.
Yeah,
Um,
she was actually gonna go after him, and I was like, no.
hmm. Yeah, I put the note about the icons being happy to not be on the block,
Hmm.
but it is very tricky. The fact that them three have never touched the block yet. Um, they gonna eventually have to do something with them. Um, before it get too late. Angela though, she had the whole meltdown because she lied. What did I? That was the part that I was interested in your take about. Cause I ain't never seen somebody so emotional and sad that they had to lie to Haley. And it's like, but then I guess she was emotional about having to lie to Haley because she was so emotional when Jason lied to her.
Right. This was Wednesday, right? Hold on, you threw me off. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm this my notes where yeah, I put a note that said Angela doesn't like lying to the others.
yeah, she didn't. She kept
Hmm.
on, but then it felt scripted. That's why I was like, she was she really upset? She might have been.
Mm, I think she really was. Cause I think she was close with Haley up in there. For some reason, I think Angela was up in there trying to find a child. And it's sad to say.
I'm about to,
Cause remember she was trying to have Jason because Jason remind her of her son. And now Haley because Haley remind her of somebody. You see what I'm saying? Like she wanna be a mother figure up in there to somebody.
right. But the thing about it, the whole time she was up in there, she was like, she was losing it. She was sitting in the HOH room while they talking, and I'm like, this, she about to blow. Before she lost it, you remember when she just kept on saying I can't lie, I can't lie. This is not me. And then I'm saying to myself, you better lie. Why is you going up there telling Haley the truth? You know,
Well, but it's hard. You really that's why I mean, lying to people like that is really hard to do.
right?
Because then you gotta remember that lie and then you gotta cover for that lie and remember everything that you're doing. I understood her feeling a sense of turmoil because as long as you playing a clean game and not really doing all that deceptive stuff, you don't have to remember so much.
Right. But if you're gonna start a lie, you might as well just keep it. Because then if you, especially in the big brother house, you, it's not like you out in public, you know, you home or whatever the case is. But if you're in a space with these people, you're in a space with these people and you already lied. Don't you
Hmm.
think if you go back, now they really ain't gonna trust you. So you
But
gonna
she didn't want to confess to everybody, just Haley. She only cared about lying to Haley. She
yeah,
didn't care about them other ones.
right. So she gonna tell Haley, and what Haley go do? She go tell everybody. So
Hmm.
she gotta you gotta think, if I go in there, if I'm a lie, I'm gonna have to keep that lie to myself because I don't know these people. I'm gonna tell her that I lied because I really liked her. She's cool, whatever. But then I
Hmm.
don't know how she's gonna react to it. Now you
Hmm.
got everybody in the house thinking, we can't even trust her.
That's true. And so Miss Whistledown said Jason was a snake. She glad that he is gone and Shauna said, "Well, I was a fan of him on Drag Race and Drag Race All Stars. His gameplay was a bit much, but he made a great villain." Yeah, I would agree. I enjoy his villainous side, and especially the pot and the spoon thing. That was cute. That was like some throwback Big Brother. Let's see. Oh, so March. Somebody named March said, "Didn't Taylor um tell her that she shouldn't feel bad? Then after that, she felt it." Huh. Taylor, I'm not sure what March mean by that. I believe someone is going to take a shot at them this week. Oh, the icons. Shauna also said, "Oh yes, she was always 2 steps away from being crazier than the shit house rat. Miss Thing fights that sort of crazy in her real life. She is always keeping them voices at bay." Huh. Okay. And then Miss Whistledown said, "Angela is another one whose mouth gets her in trouble." I mean, I still think Angela is playing a better game now. My biggest concern, though, with Angela's game is I believe in week one, it kind of looked like she was gearing. She was she was doing more in the game week one when she convinced Devins to go after Rome, like what he did. Was it Rome? No, whichever one where she had told when Davis was HOH and she convinced him to go after Rome. But like right now, what it's gonna start to look like for Angela is that she not playing her own game. Cause when you get so far into the game and then you actually have to be able to persuade the people that you did the best game playing, what is Angela really gonna put on her resume? I guess is what I'm saying. Because on the outside looking in, it just looked like she following the survivors.
Hmm. Yep, she started off okay,
Hmm.
but now I feel like she's about to go back to her old self.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Well, and I noted that Chuck had a talk with Lala, and she told him that she was on the sinking ship, that he was on the sinking ship with Haley, and that he needed to win the veto. And then Dee and Devins talked about the power that they have. Angela was up in the shower crying and wanting to come clean to Haley, which we were just talking about that, about the way she voted. Um, I ain't gonna lie, crying in the shower was a bit dramatic, but in that game, you really do have to have a poker face. And so I think that in order for her to maintain a poker face, she had to go and be vulnerable up in there.
She had to get it out before she had to go back out there in that world with them.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
how about Haley? She was angry as hell. She was mad. You could see the fumes coming from her.
I don't blame her though. Because if I'm really trying to work with you for real, I want to be able to trust you. And
Hmm.
9 times out of 10, if you done lied to me, then that means that you dealing with some other people closer than me.
Right. That's crazy.
Now, also,
You had a part when Chuck didn't want to give Angela a hug.
um, I didn't put a note for that.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't want to give her a hug after he heard what Angela was doing.
Hmm. Now, what do you think about the fact that Haley told Chuck that Angela was the reason behind the vote flipping, which wasn't true. It was actually it was actually D. D was.
Right.
And then the fact that D told Kamu about her power, I think that might bite her in the butt later.
Yeah. I'm like, if you gonna say you're not gonna tell, just don't tell.
Yeah, because I think
Why
what
you
it's looking like is that she told everybody about her power except for Angela.
right,
And that's gonna make Angela feel some type of way later on down the line. The
right,
fact that okay, she was trusted Devin's enough to tell him. And now you skipped over telling Angela completely to tell Kamu.
right.
Remember, Kamu and D kind of had a little friction at the beginning when D had won her HOH. And remember, I think D ended up putting Kamu on the block that week. And
Yeah,
Kamu was mad about it. So with the veto competition for this episode, they were transported to 1977 and it was a disco style stepping on tiles type of competition, which I've seen this competition a few times in past seasons, and I think it's a legit competition. It seems very easy. Now though that might be one of the ones that would be easy to win, but you just got to have endurance because you got to keep running back and forth.
right. And remember which towel you tapped on.
Mhm. Yeah, when that veto competition started, it was Chuck versus Kamu. Kamu ended up winning and eliminating Chuck. Then the next round was Haley versus Lala, where Haley won and eliminated Lala. Then D versus Barrett, where Barrett won, eliminating D. Haley versus Barrett, where Barrett won and eliminated Haley. And then Kamu versus Barrett was the final round, and Kamu won, which caused him to win the veto.
Now, don't you think Bert could have won that? How close it was?
Um,
It was really close because Bert
yeah,
was all the way to that last towel. He hit that wrong one, and then he flew back. And he almost had it.
yeah, Barrett, but I wonder if Barrett was even. I sometimes wonder if Barrett didn't throw that
Right,
because, well, no, because Barrett is on the block, so it would be good for him to win the veto. It would have been good for him to win the veto, but it makes me wonder because if Barrett had won that and used the veto to save himself, of course, then that would have made Lala have to put up somebody else.
right,
So I wonder if he threw it on purpose because he still is feeling so comfortable and safe on the block between Haley and Chuck.
right. You right. Because I don't think if he would have thrown it, yeah, you right. Because then she would have had to put somebody. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. It was just so close. It was a close. It was close.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, if they do throw it, they typically will reveal that in the diary room. So I didn't hear anything about it in the diary room session, but it makes me wonder if maybe he talked more about that um sometime in the live feeds.
Right. Because Barrett, he like the type of guy that's laying low. Like, I'm not gonna put myself in jeopardy.
Hmm.
Because he kind of quiet. He on the quiet side.
Well, at this point, he does appear to be a floater, which is not a bad thing, but he is floating through the game. He gonna have to start making some game moves as well. Otherwise, it just look like he up in there doing nothing.
Right. Just like the other competition with the balls.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, and so then I don't have any more notes for that Wednesday night episode. Do you have any? And then the notes that I have for the episode I just watched, I really don't even have a whole lot of notes for real because I just finished watching it.
Okay. So on Wednesday night, all right. Let me go. Camel did not use the vote. He basically told Camel basically told Haley and Chuck he's not using the veto on, and they was like, oh, if he ain't using the veto, basically they gonna come after him if they still in the game.
And I just saw March. Well, first off, I want to say good morning to anybody new that came in. Good morning, Sassy Francis. So March, me and DC did do predictions at the beginning of the season And let me see. I think I had already uploaded that in here to put it up for the person. I think this is my most recent one. Yes. Wait, is this? Yeah, I think this was the last predictions from August 15th. Yeah, okay. Predictions for August 15th show. Yes, okay. So this is how we broke down who we are going for in March. So when the season first started, we picked the top 3 overall, as well as a favorite house guest. So that's why we have the pictures that we have on the screen. DC picked Angela and I picked Drew. The reason why I had to edit this one is because the lyric is gone. I lost one of my top 3 overalls, whereas DC's top 3 overall is still there. Angela, Barrett, and Yash. Well, my top 3 overall was Drew, Lyric, and Camu. And so far, I lost Lyric last week. Now, I will say, as far as the HOH predictions, I predicted Drew. You predicted Mallory. Um, we both was wrong. But Drew was holding on, but he just couldn't he could not perform Lala.
Nope.
All right. So now that I gave that information to the person, let me go back over here. So now,
Hold up. Wait a minute.
uh-huh.
Where was that? We was on the part with Camu and Haley. Oh yeah. When Camu told him that he was. How you felt about that when he said he wasn't gonna use the vote on them and what they were supposed to be in the alliance together?
I went when Cameron told them that.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
I
was.
thought that was smart. I mean, it's gonna make him a target, I think, for Haley, because Haley stayed. But he had to really jump off that ship. It's sinking. Him using the veto to save one of them is gonna piss off Lala and them. And I think right now he is trying to distance himself from them altogether. So he had to um keep the noms the same so that way Lala wouldn't have to put up another person and he really wasn't pissing off too many people. Now he pissed them off, but that was a good bank on it because at least one of them was gonna go.
Right. Yeah, because Chuck is mad. Bert, he feels safe. Haley knows she is the target. Taylor said to Camu, he said he did not use the veto on thing one and thing two. I about fell out when she said that.
Yeah, Taylor was getting her life with the blind side of everything. But on the one hand, I do wonder if Taylor will be able to claim this HOH as her own HOH because she having to do so much to help Lala, with this one. And Miss Whistledown said she wanted to be a part of the chart. Okay, Miss Whistledown. Um, let me see.
Yeah,
So Miss
tell I ain't gonna lie, tell why you doing that. Tell her she playing a good game. She is playing a good game.
she is. I would say Taylor is playing a good game, very much under the radar, hiding behind Lala. And I like that she win when she needs to win. Because
Right,
that's really what's important with the game. It's sometimes you don't need to win at all, but then other times you do. And specifically when her back was against the wall, she needed to win. And I do appreciate her because she is actually a fan of the show, clearly. For her to be up in there having to tell these other people what they supposed to be doing and how the game is supposed to be maneuvered, lets me know that she definitely have been a diehard fan. Like even when she was up in there trying to explain to Chuck how to campaign for himself while he up on the block, and he was just looking crazy.
right. Yeah, he talks about him and what's the lady name? Him and Lala on the same page when it comes to their brain.
Oh, talent is here. So Talent was looking for us. Talent, did you still want to come up and have your say? We actually have been making pretty good time today, which is good. So if you want me to drop the link for you, I can. Talent caught me on a different panel and was asking me about our synopsis because he had some things that he wanted to say as it relates to this HOH. Okay, let me get the link for you, Talent. Um, but Miss Whistledown, with the chart that we have, I guess you would just have to give me your picks. But we'll do that we'll do that at some point. Let me drop the link for Talent.
We can do it at the
I
end.
was wondering, yeah, I was wondering how Talent felt about Lala winning because it's really unfortunate that Lala had to put up Chuck. And Chuck is a black person. It's unfortunate that they had to do that, but Chuck really is was not good for that game regardless.
Yeah, Chuck wasn't playing the right. I don't know what Chuck playing. Chuck playing his own some other game. He ain't playing Big Brothers.
Good morning, Talent.
Good morning, ladies. JD, DC,
Good
what's going
morning.
on?
Hey. Yeah, we just going through note by note. We finally at the last episode, but like I don't have a whole bunch of notes for that because I just finished watching it. But what is your take? What did you want to add
Oh,
here?
I've been listening. Yesterday, first going back to yesterday, because I know
Okay.
someone else asked you about what happened to the live you were supposed to schedule, and I know that pissed you off.
Well,
But
and actually, it was Whistledown. It's Whistledown that was asking me, and I really wasn't pissed with Whistledown. I just, you know, I had moved it to the side, and it just had took me off what I was talking about at that time. But no, I'm not mad at her.
oh, okay. Because
Hmm.
honest, full transparency, I was pissed. I was like,
Hmm.
I set my alarm. I could have slept in. I was like, damn. But anyway, let me.
Oh, I'm sorry that you did all of that, Talent. My bad.
No,
Yeah,
no,
it
no.
ended up.
It's
So
all good.
I had to do
You have a
something
life. You
yesterday.
have
Hmm.
like you pop back. You have a life, and you don't have to explain it to anybody. You don't have to explain it to anybody. So I get that better than anybody. But look,
Hmm.
there's a lot happening here. This season actually turned out I was a little concerned in the beginning because I really didn't like too many of them, and
Hmm.
I'm still at that point. But that Chuck guy, I had told everybody initially that would be the first guy I would have got out. Is Chuck. Chuck is a corporate coon, and a lot of people don't understand what I'm saying.
Hmm.
First of all, he's from another country. He's from
Hmm.
Africa, where
Hmm.
and you have to understand when they come here, a lot of them they have
Hmm.
no respect for African Americans, have nothing, and you can tell by his attitude when he came in with the cowboy hat, all of that, and he really didn't try to ingratiate himself with the sisters, with
Hmm.
Lala and Taylor. He wanted to forge an alliance more so with others, if you know what I mean. So right there, and just how he communicated, I said, "Oh, I know this guy. He's never going to fully have my back. He's going to try
Right.
to play me for a little bit with, and say, hey, brother, we got to work together,' and then go run off to, you know, do his thing with the others." So I already know. So he would be a threat to my game. So believe it or not, he would have been the first one I'd had to get out for my own personal game because I know that type. Now
Hmm.
moving on to Taylor. Taylor and Lala are playing horrible games because they won. I think one veto uh,
Uh-huh.
the competition, and Lala won hit a household. I get that. That a broken clock is right twice a day. Isn't that what
Hmm.
they say?
Uh-huh.
So yeah. So they won that, but you have to look at it like this. Lala has, when she got, first of all, it's not a strategy being confused. She really doesn't. And Taylor has stated that, the others in the household, she's
Hmm.
just somebody to carry along. They don't see them as real threats. And basically, everybody that has like said in a diary room or have told other people on camera, she's not really in the game. Chuck thought that. They all think that See, now she'll tell the camera, "Oh yeah, that's my strategy. I'm confused." But no. So when she got head of household, she was. I think someone used the term power drunk, and
Mhm.
she
Mhm.
acted. She, and that's the clear problem. She should have been humble, gracious. Of course, I loved her what she did to Haley in the kitchen, and
Uh-huh.
I like that. But however, you also have to understand there's only three of us in this house. Well, actually two to be honest, because Chuck at that time, I put him in the others.
Right.
So you're gonna have to
Well, with you analyzing Chuck, I just want to pause you. When we first saw the cast, when me and DC first did
with that
our talk
cowboy
about
hat
this,
already know.
yeah, and I was actually he's disappointing because I was hoping that he did good for the black cowboy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But unfortunately, you are right.
Well, he's a different type of black cowboy. He's an African cowboy, and he's an African that comes with these stereotypes about African Americans.
Right.
And his stereotype is he thinks most of us act like Pizarro, that type of black person, and obviously that's not the case. So I
Right.
know where his sentiments and where his loyalty ultimately will lie. But
Mhm.
when we get to Lala, and you remember the first show that you and DC did, I
Uh-huh.
was a big Lala fan. First of all, she's older, she's black, she's articulate, and
Mhm.
she seemed like she was going to be one of those tough cookies, which she
Mhm.
did give us that vibe when she was head of household. But before that, she was doing a lot of crying. She was aligning with the wrong folks. Who's aligning with that Jason dude? Let me tell you something. Because a lot of you don't know, but I used to. My family, I have a lot of gay people in my family. I've worked in gay bars, so that's why I'm so steeped in the culture.
Mhm.
What Jason was as a performative gay person. And
Mhm.
what I mean is, I work with professionals who just happen to be gay. You wouldn't know it by talking to them, or there's no inflexes, there's no flamboyancy or anything like that. So
Uh-huh.
Jason is one of those, you call him a messy queen, and that would have been my second one to get out of the house. But they chose to align with him, who I think in their mind they thought he would be a good shield, but he would be out in a matter of time. So he's not really going to be a long term shield for you because he blew up his own game multiple occasions. So that was her first mistake. So they weren't using good game strategy to align with the right people. And now we find out Taylor doesn't even respect Lala. Taylor has said on multiple occasions, I have to play her game for her. You know, yeah, and I'm playing her game. I'm giving her the who to pick and who not to pick. So
Mhm.
right there, you can tell now she has distrust for Lala. So now when it really gets into the weeds, really gets down to nitty gritty time, there's a good chance Taylor might not have Lala's back because she doesn't respect her game anyway. So now you really got a problem because you would think the sisters would stay together. Now,
Well, and well, but that's the thing because I think it was like a week or two ago, you saw where when forced to even have to put Lala's name down, Taylor refused to. So that shows a sense of loyalty, in my opinion.
wait, well, did you see her in the diary room when she was talking directly to the cam and said, "Hey, I'm playing for two people. I basically have to carry her."
Right.
So to
Mhm.
me, that kind of minimizes that loyalty. No, I agree on its face, and for the most part, she is going to be loyal to Lala up to a point where. But
Okay.
if she has to cut her, if she has to
Mhm.
cut her, she won't hesitate. It's not, this isn't the cookout. There's not that type of strong alliances happening with us in this one. It's basically everybody for themselves, and they're not going to go anywhere. I can tell you that now. They're going to carry those two along because they don't respect them. And then one of the other people that needs to go is Angela. Angela, for the same reasons I said about Jason,
Mhm.
just too messy, too just too involved in people's business, making
Mhm.
assumptions, and how. And I got to be honest, she could be a closet racist too. So I have to be, I would have to be very cautious, but she'd have to go immediately. And then once you got rid of Chuck and you got rid of Angela, then you need to work on the icons. Why the icons have been, I don't know how current you are. Well, how current are you too?
Um, well, as far as Big Brother right now, it's up until the episode that just happened. DC is not a feeds watcher. DC is a casual watcher. So DC
Oh, okay.
watches um the show per se on television. And I did try to introduce DC to the feeds, but she said she really didn't like it. I think she feel like she have to sit down and watch it like TV, but there is no time. There is not enough time in the day to do that. You kind of just peek in every now and then.
Yeah,
That's what I
like
do.
right, like right now, I have it on in the background with the sound down, and because I was working and listening to YouTube, but
Hmm.
it's always on in the background. And so if I see the right people talking on the screen, because I'll set it for multicam, if I see the right group of people look like they're conspiring together, then I'll stop what I'm doing and turn up the volume to see what's going on. But since DC's not up to date, but I won't go in the direction I was going to go to. But I will say this though: why why the icons have been allowed to get this far without anyone getting nominated is ridiculous. Because you can tell, who the fans love them because they gave them those what's that secret powers? They give them those
Yeah,
secret powers.
the BB time capsule.
Right.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
you know who the top three people, and of course one of them is my favorite, Mallory, the rocket scientist, because we're always going to, before y'all get into the talent loves some white women. No, we're we're
You
looking
know
strict.
some talent.
We're looking strict. Well, go
When
ahead.
you said it, I really wasn't thinking about the white woman aspect, but I thought about her profession as a rocket scientist. That
That's where I
I
was at
figured
till
that
you
you would
said
go
that.
for her, but the messy beef sector, that's exactly what they would say.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. But we have to. If we're just looking at gameplay, I think, and I know, I love that. Actually, I love lyric. I love melody, Mallory. I love that together. But lyric turns out to be soft. And as a lawyer, that really, because I really thought she was on the ball initially. Then she started crying, and you know how I feel about weak women. Then I was like, nah, nah, she's got to go. But but
I
Mel,
had high hopes for her when we first started because I put her as one of my picks. Right here.
yeah,
Hmm.
I thought she was going to be a strong player. It's so funny how your initial perception of people and how it
Hmm.
slowly, for some, slowly goes down the drain, and some others that you had little use for as the weeks progress. You're like, oh wow, this person really impressed me. And of course, I like Derek because he's tall, intelligent, laying in the cut. Him and Drew, I like that combo too. But
Hmm.
again, the problem is the I think the deck has been stacked against most of those house guests because with
Hmm.
those secret powers that Devins and D have, I think that is enough to get them very far. So those two, they've automatically, and see, that's why I hate these people coming in, these other people from other shows coming in,
Hmm.
because CBS is going to bend over backwards to do things to make sure they stay, because they believe that's where a lot of their viewership is coming from, people who want to see those two. Now, how that Angela, see, I didn't see that the season she was on, but to me, I don't see any real gameplay. I see somebody who's messy, who's and I mentioned this yesterday.
Mhm.
JD, if you recall. But one of the things that really bothered me is her supposed eh, inability to keep a secret. Like it's just, she just can't contain herself. She just has to, tell somebody, hey, I lied. Like the other person, like Haley, is just going because Haley, I'll tell you what, I like Haley. I mean, her attitude is just so piss poor though. It's abrasive, and
Mhm.
that stops other people from liking her. But I love it. I love it. But I also understand how other people see her as you know, I I don't use that word, but other people see her as that,
Right.
and that's unfortunate because she's probably one of the top players in that game. You really got to watch out for Haley, but for Angela to really just like I got to come clean and tell you and think that was just gonna
Fix it.
fly. Yeah, think
Mhm.
that was gonna fix anything? No, now you on now you should be on everybody's radar.
Put
I
her on
mean, the
target.
other icons, but the other icons don't seem to mind when Angela does things like that. They're like, "Oh, Angela, I can't believe you did." Nah, you got to get up out of here. You got because I can't. I'm all about trust. I'm all about trust, and once you violate that, it's basically hard to get that back. So she's got to go, bet sooner than later. But I do think they need to get the icons out quickly if they can. And then the 5,000. Have you talked about the $5,000
Well,
secret
that's
power?
what. Not yet. That's what I actually was gonna ask you about as it relates to the icons.
Yeah,
What I
that's the
don't like about this group and how they are playing is the fact that they really believe that nobody got the time capsule that entire time where two people got things. Like, I mean, it's been like a 2 week space without anybody having a punishment. I don't see
yeah,
why these other people are not questioning that, because I would immediately be ready to flush it out. Because if 2 weeks done went by and
exactly,
I ain't seen nobody with no punishment, then that means somebody got it. And 9 times out of 10, it would be them icons.
exactly.
They not even trying to flush out the powers. They just believe in, oh well, nobody got it. And I'm like, what?
But this power that Angela has, this is I don't know if CBS is being cheap, but you really have to think about it. Both of you have to think about it. They're giving D $5,000. Now keep in mind, I think how much do you win? Half a million if you win the whole thing.
Yeah,
So
either half a million or seven hundred and fifty
and
thousand or
and
something.
and every week there on the show they get some type of stipend, which is probably what like 3, 4, 5 grand. So I don't understand what if you come to me to do something. Let's say to do something that's going to a head of household
Mhm.
has wanted to get somebody out, and I go against it for 5 grand. So now I've become a target. I lose out on my chance to earn 500,000 just to get a measly 5 grand. Now I know a lot of these people in the house. Some of them are like living at home with the parents and waiters and stuff. But 5 grand is a small. I mean, that wouldn't do it. What if you were on the show? Would you do? Would you go against like that something? Would you do something? First of all, would you do something for 5 grand that could possibly make you a target?
Probably not. But the one thing that I think you failing to remember though about that bribe power is that she can do it publicly or secretly. So my thought is to bribe the person to do something in private, secretly, for them to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but who would be foolish enough to take it for 5 grand? I mean, I mean, unless it was going to help their game. If it was something that someone is proposing that, hey, I would have done this anyway for free, then
Mhm.
yeah. But if this
Mhm.
is something that's going to put a target on your back for doing
Right,
something,
then
yeah.
absolutely not. I probably wouldn't want no parts with it.
So I'm like, what's the fight? Who now? Now, Devin's power. Now that's big. But 5 grand to offer somebody, I'm like, no. And why CBS is insulting? Well, actually, that's an insult to those guests, but it's an insult to us, the viewers, because Not too many people moving anything for 5 grand. I mean, that's a low ball offer. Heck, I know they did something similar before, but I thought it was something bigger. I thought it was like 20 grand or something crazy. It may have
Well,
been
to
like a
me,
10,000 for case.
that bride power kind of reminds me of like the veto competition where you could steal something from somebody else. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, I love that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
I love
And
that.
then sometimes you don't have no choice but to be stuck with the $5,000 because somebody stole the veto from you and gave you that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm interested. I know D thinks he's got like something, some real power there.
Mhm.
But I doubt anybody's gonna do anything that could impact them negatively for 5 grand. Now,
Well, but hold up, I just thought of something. So if I'm on the block, if me and DC on the block and you won the veto,
yeah,
so I if I offered you the $5,000 to use the veto on me, you wouldn't?
to use the veto on you,
Yeah, I'd be like, can you
I
use the
got to well,
veto?
I got to determine how the house feels about you. Now, if the whole house wants you out, and then I and then I save you, then I may have your loyalty, but it's two people against the rest of the house. So yeah, I'm not. I'm just gonna have to say sorry, JD, but I can't do it. I
Okay.
can't do it. Now, if you can come up with like the 5,000 Big Brother gave you, and you want to come out of your personal funds for maybe like 20 grand, because then yeah, 25 grand, I'd be willing to consider making some moves. But nah, 5 grand, I'm getting insulted just thinking about somebody offering me five. That's crazy. But
See,
no,
Okay.
oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I
No,
was just saying because case in point, even with this week that just happened, the fact that Kamu won the veto, if they had the $5,000 bribe to offer him to use the veto on them, I wonder if he would have still just left them up there, or if they would have,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I don't think he's doing. See, I don't think he's doing bad off. He's an MMA fighter, so I don't think 5,000 is going to really. And it would help him with his alliance, with Chuck and Haley. But since they're already, you know, they've already been targeted, like he said, he's doing the right thing to give himself some distance. But you got to keep in mind, Camus, and I think you told me he was MAGA. Uh, because if I didn't know that, I'd be kind of I'd be kind of pulling for, but I don't know because he
Yeah,
does seem to.
he got basically what happened was like the first week or so when the game started, people went through found his social media where he had a video that was related to George Floyd about something with George Floyd that made
Mm,
people upset. Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, I can't. Even though he does try to kind of like he wants to work with Taylor and Lala, which
Mhm.
which to me also shows on his part he's not a good strategist. He's not a good strategist because why would you want to work with? I understand why he would say it at the time because see, Lala was head of household, but I wouldn't. Those two are mostly going to be floaters unless they get another. Now, if they get another veto win or another head of household win, I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to say, I was wrong. I was wrong. But I see them being just led along until it's time to cut them loose. I don't really see them making any moves or anything like that because I don't know what I don't want to say it's like some type of racist dynamic or anything. I don't think it's that. I just
Mhm.
think that household, that what that head of household with Lala just rubbed me the wrong way. I
Mhm.
mean, see, and a lot of people saw that. And JD, you've been in spaces with majority white people, like
Mhm.
in college or whatever, or in work. Well, actually, you worked in BET, so you were around
Mhm.
black folks. But when you're in these spaces and you try, like how I play, like I'm cocky and all that on here.
Mhm.
It,
Mhm.
you can't play. You can't do that in these spaces you just can't do it. You
Right.
have to be humble. You have to be. I mean, she sat up there like she was a queen. I mean,
Well, one
and
thing
that's
that I
what. Hold on, hold
th-
on, because
okay,
that's what got
go ahead.
her in trouble when she was talking about we got to go after the icon, and that's why Barrett and Drew they were like, oh yeah, I can't wait to tell this because they had no respect for her, and they said she was drinking her wine, got a little drunk, and then she started running her mouth, and now she wants to go after the icons, not realizing her power only lasts a week. The
Right.
following week she goes back, you know, where they don't really think about her too much. So I thought that was
Not
a
only
bad.
that, but I was thinking too that it revealed that she doesn't have the best read on them at all.
Exactly.
Because her read on the icons was so wild, especially given the clueless game that she is playing. But it goes to show that her game is clueless. Like D is only
Yeah,
there for
totally
the
cool.
experience. D is only there for the experience or the opportunity. No, D is there to win some money because she won Survivor before.
Right.
Exactly. And she thinks because it's $1 million, oh, she don't really want. No, if you got $1 million, you're gonna keep trying. Hey, you want to keep that up? Why not get another million? You know, and she's one that's a true game player. She enjoys the game, and I just think, and that's the worst part about it, because like I said at the beginning, I was a big Lala fan from the beginning, and I know some of your audience right now. Why aren't other people clicking this link? There's a few people that should be clicking. They should be clicking the link, and they know who
Well,
I'm talking about.
that's the
But
thing because I do invite the people and I will drop the link talent. But it's weird because so many people catch me somewhere else to talk to me about Big Brother, but won't come over here and talk to us about it. It's weird.
that's crazy. I never understood because I didn't. I was like you. I was surprised. Trish told me she watched it out of the blue one day. She said, "You know, I watched Big Brother too." And then I initially I said, "Oh, she's just playing," because she just wants to, how Trish is. But then she started naming a couple of things. She got some things wrong, so I don't know how deep she is into it. I was surprised Uppity is into it because I had never heard her talk about it before, and she really seems like she's up to date on it as
Yeah,
well.
now Uppity was one of those shockers, and it's crazy because when Uppity first showed up in the beef sector, I remember when I was doing like Big Brother reviews on a different channel, and I
Mhm.
remember when Uppity was thinking that people copied that I copied off her to act like I watch Big Brother, and I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, girl, I've been watching this mess for easily about the last 10, 15 years before I even
Yeah,
knew you. But that's uppity for you. She's
yeah,
walking
that's
down
fun.
there. We copied off her, and like Brianna used to would do reviews on her channel every now and then, but Brianna even
Yeah, I'm
stopped doing it.
surprised Bree. Well, she got a lot going on with the party and all that, but I would feel like, yeah. But now that I think about it, yeah, if you got like 8 kids running around, you got that worthless dude, the lawnmower man running around there. She probably just doesn't have time, because the kids probably hog the TV set.
I'm about to hang up.
No, no offense. I settled my beef with Bree. Bree, don't please. I
Yeah,
don't
and
want any smoke.
one thing too that I just thought about, Miss Toby. Miss Toby be over here. Miss Toby
Oh, that's it.
watching.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Because
Hmm.
generally I try to catch Toby when she's on a link to talk about it. I know people get upset because a large majority don't even watch it. But yeah, Toby's another one. There's a few other people I can't think of it now. But no, man, I have really, I have. It started off. Usually, you know what? Now that I think about it, when Big Brother starts, I'm usually I don't care. I really don't like anybody, and I say, oh, this is gonna be a corny season. And then, then it always turns out by the fourth or fifth week, it's like, oh, this is good. This is good. But there's only been like maybe 2 or 3 seasons that really were just, I just can't get into these people. And you know what's it? I got to be honest with you. There were some like this past season. I didn't watch it all. Then I couldn't even tell you. Not you. Not this. Not this season, but the one
In
from
the
last.
previous seasons.
Yeah, I didn't.
It
I didn't watch that one at all.
Well, that's kind of where I am with it now, because me and DC have been doing this show for the last 3 years. Consistently, I have watched the last 3 years, but I know what you mean. Where you could start a season and maybe the first month will seem like it's good, but then for me, it just gets boring if one side of the house is just controlling everything, or
Yeah,
every single time they vote, it's always the unanimous vote. That doesn't make it that fun. Even it doesn't make it that fun to tune into the live feeds because you already know what's gonna happen, you know?
yeah, yeah. And I thought that was going to be the case this season because I said, "Oh, you got like an 8-person alliance, and these people on this side, which the people I like are getting picked off one by one." So I was like, "Oh," but things have turned around, but I think Melody, who is really out of all of them, I think I really like her, and not because she was in a bikini or anything like that. Her and Mallory, and I'll go back to it, Lyric. That is, how can we call it? What did Jay Wilson call it? Mean Girls. When you really think about Mean Girls, it would be
Hmm.
those three. But and I thought they would go a long way, and they still might. But I think Mallory is the one you really, because she's able to win competitions. She's
Right.
smart. She can cry on demand. You know. Uh, Also, I do have a problem though with Melody and with Mallory. You know, and I know this comes at the height of the whole Rodney thing and all of this stuff, but there's something they they look really young. They look really young, and they I don't know, and to
Well,
have
I
them
know
crank the,
Lyric was 25, and I feel like Mallory and Melody are in their mid 20s as well. The youngest person on the cast is Drew, and he is 22. I remember notating that when the season first started.
yeah, it's hard. It was. I don't know if you noticed when they like stand by each other, they're like 5'2" or something. They're all like, I'm like, this is real weird. I mean, what is going? Before you would have like these, Janelle, like tall Amazon, like just or even like a Haley type. But now you got like these little mousy chicks that look like teenagers. I'm like, what is CBS doing? You know, but it is what it is, I guess.
I honestly just wish sometimes Mallory would just relax. That girl look like she need a massage or something because she is always on like I just be like, girl, relax. I
Yeah, but
mean, even her walking around and smiling is like so much stress and tension, and I'm just like, relax, calm down.
yeah, she's got that fight in her, but like I'm saying, that crying is it for her. That crying is gonna come in handy. That crying, because I'm like, damn, you got me worked up over here. Because one time she went in the diary room and just started bawling and talking about I'm always on the block and this and that. I was like, oh man, poor. I was like, poor Valerie, why are they doing her like this? But I think as it goes on, if she makes it down to like the final 5 or 6, that's one to watch out for. Um,
Mhm.
Taylor, of course, as I said before, personally, I would definitely be her friend in the house up to a point, because like I said, she showed her true colors when she starts talking about she's carrying Lala. I didn't like that at all. You may think that, but why would you voice that?
Right.
Because Lala probably has a lot of faith in her. I don't think Lala would say. Has Lala said anything crazy about Taylor in private or?
Mm-mm.
Not
Not
that I
that I've
know of.
seen.
I ain't seen that either.
Yeah. Oh, were you too surprised when you heard Taylor say, because they did a whole montage of all of these different people saying some crazy stuff about Lala, and she would have been the last person I would think that would say anything crazy, especially like, She doesn't really know what she's doing. I'm playing for two, and I make all the choices. I'm like, what? That kind of bothered me. But
Well, one thing what you saying about Taylor, and I'm just looking at this picture. Um, on the slick, I almost feel like Taylor is navigating to replace lyric in this picture right here with the Mallory and the melody. And I think that that's probably not
oh
the best gameplay because I don't think she is really trying to align with the icons at all.
yeah, 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 Matt. See, the problem with Melody is, and Taylor's kind of the same way. They're real. They're real anti. They're real dislike. And they can't. Sometimes they can't hide their feelings, and it shows. And for Taylor, the problem. See, this goes back to racial dynamics. There is that trope about the angry black woman. And one thing I've learned is professional white males and white females, they can't deal with an aggressive, you know articulate black woman. They'll call them angry, they'll call them all types of things for some reason. Now they'll somewhat put up with that from a black male, but I mean, they're still going to have problems with it. But when it comes to black women in these spaces, oh, unless you're demure, docile, they're going to have a problem. So for Taylor, I think her, I think she's going to. The only advice I would give her is to be more loyal to Lala, and also slow down on the attitude, because there's a certain type of attitude that these white folks are picking up on that's eventually going to come back and bite them. Because when you talk about the Melody and Mallory, I don't really see them thinking that they're close with Taylor and Lala. I don't really see that. They're not part of the quote unquote crew. So that's something that I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if Taylor or Lala can break into like where they can all be like one type of crew, but they're gonna have to do something, because they do, like you said, JD. They need somebody with some strength, and it wasn't going to be Jason. I don't know why you thought Jason was going to be worthwhile, but they do need a male, and I guess. See, I guess I guess Camus would be one, but can we trust Camus? Because if he's willing to cut ties with Haley and Chuck like that, and Haley and Chuck, they're solid. They were solid to each other, to that whole crew. That was clear. But Camus was the one that was like, nah, let me jump ship their target. That tells you a lot about him. And I don't know if the rest of the house have used it like that, but for me, I'd be like, nah, you so quick. Because you remember when what's the name, Lyric did something
I just
similar?
w- I just went and got this picture. But what you saying is Camus really jumping ship, or is he remembering that his alliance be lying to each other? Because remember,
What did
they
they lie about? Well, I don't
well
remember a
with
Chuck
the
and
vote.
Haley lying there.
Well, no, with the vote. Remember the vote happened and they got blindsided. He was on the side of that blind side. So that's
Yeah, but
why
he
he
voted with them. It was those three. It was 8-3, and they were the three. Their crew stays solid.
hmm.
Their crew stays solid. He didn't know. He wasn't sure where it was coming from. But after learning, about the votes, this is after the fact though.
Well,
He
see,
still went.
I think you probably not looking at the screen. No, he was in the tool shed. Yes, he was in that three with them, but then also the tool shed was supposed to be a thing. And I think once that vote happened and he found himself on the wrong side of the vote, he abandoned the tool shed altogether.
Oh no, I was talking about the solid three of Haley, because that would be the three. that they always say, "Hey, we're going to be final three." That was the one they were loyal. They were all loyal. Well, Camus wasn't, but they were loyal. They did the right thing. All three of them did the right thing. But Camus, he's like, "Hey, it's time to jump ship. We're targets. You know, hey." It's Lyric did the same thing. I don't know if you remember when
Mm-hmm.
she started to turn on the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she went to D, and D was like, "I can't trust you if you willing to cut ties this quick with your crew. I can't trust that," which is the correct thing. If you
Now,
always
what do
have to
you?
look out. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, what do you think about Dee telling Camus about her power? Do you think that was a smart game move? I don't necessarily know that he
Yeah,
needed to know because they were just kind of had some animosity at the beginning of the game. Remember,
yeah.
D put him on the block.
I I don't I didn't understand why she would do it, but it doesn't hurt her because first of all, like I said from the beginning, it's a to me it's a worthless power.
Mm,
So you tell her, and then she has the assurance knowing that Devins has her back. So even if she does happen to get on the block, if she does happen to get on the block, if push comes to shove and she's there on a Thursday night, you know, Rick is going to use his powers. So I'm not really that. I don't think it was a problem for her to tell him. I mean, it's a good way to earn his trust, and you know, I didn't see it, and the power is worthless. So I'd be like, who cares? But it's the Devon's power that's really worth it. But look, I've done too much talking. I'm listening from the cloud. I got to get back to working. Big
well,
brother in
thank
the
you.
background.
Well, thank you for joining us. It was, like I said, it was great to have a different perspective.
Right.
So I appreciate you for taking the time to talk to us about it,
Yeah,
Talent.
I was about to say the
Okay.
same thing. I appreciate that you came
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. You're welcome. Have a good one, ladies.
All right, you too. I'm gonna drop you just so that it won't mess up the sound. I'm gonna drop you, Talent.
Here, I just sent him the thing.
Okay. That was good. I'm happy to see strategically what Talent thought about it. Um, so that was good. Hmm.
Yeah.
With that, I guess we can go ahead and let me see if I got any other notes to touch on, and then we can make our predictions. So yeah, I said Barrett was feeling good about being on the block with Chuck and Haley, but the house was wanting Haley out. Oh, that was one thing about that episode. So I'm happy that Haley won the blockbuster versus the upset that would have happened if they would have just kept Haley just to be spiteful to Lala.
Right.
If they would have just kept Haley just to be spiteful to Lala and Haley had not won that, it was gonna be a hell breaking loose.
It would have been awkward in that house.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's why when she won the blockbuster, I was like, well, at least good. So then that way you don't have to be intentional to be keeping her around.
Mhm.
But it's just unfortunate that Chuck had to go. Chuck had to go. Now Lala did say that two icons must go before the jury. She said she don't want them going that far. Um, which she said it in front of a whole bunch of people that of course then run back and tell them. Did you have any additional notes about that last episode, DC?
Only last episode was crazy. You know, I got to come back with the craziness when Angela tossed that knife up in the air by accident when they was pretending they was doing hibachi food.
Oh yeah, I saw that part.
I was
I
like,
was actually scared because I thought she had broke something. Like because I don't know if you know, but in the Big Brother house, and that's the beauty of the live feeds because you see everything going on. It's nothing but like glass, like mirror things there to be able to film all the different angles from
right.
on other side of the wall. So when I heard her do that, I didn't know if she had broke like one of the glass things that have the camera back there to film them. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Cause that shit went flying over across. I said, "Oh shit!" I thought it was gonna come down and hit somebody.
Yeah, and my thought about that too is how when that happened, Lala was, having fun with Angela, talking about how much she liked her. Which is so crazy because from the first episode, Lala said that she couldn't stand Angela and she was gonna go after Angela to get Angela out the house. And now she like her. Cause
Right.
remember when we first did the review where I was saying that I hope that the 250-something-year-old ladies could work together. And I was worried that Lala was gonna target Angela right out the gate. But it seemed like they are doing what they can to help each other, you know.
Yep, they sure are. But the other part, the last thing I had was when Taylor was talking about Chuck. You know she talked about some big brothers for dummies. You know, I said no, she didn't. When she was talking about Chuck.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because it seemed like he don't know what he doing either. And I
No.
think he was getting on her nerves, you know,
Yeah.
being clueless. I noticed that the people really do get tired of the people being so clueless up in the game.
And then I just can't get over how Barrick was lying to Lala, saying Devin is the scariest of the three icons. Remember that part we was talking
Mm-hmm.
about?
Well, that's what I was saying as far as Lala having a good read on the house. I said
Mm-hmm.
she kind of don't have a good read on the house at all when
Mm-mm.
she was saying about Devins, because I wouldn't say that Devins is harmless, but I don't know, it's other things that you could worry about, you know.
What's up, Dutch Cat Love?
Oh
Welcome.
yeah, I forgot. Duchess watch Big Brother too. It's a lot of people that watch. I totally forgot. I'm telling you, it's so many people in the beef sector that watch. Duchess used to come over here with us the last season or so. He would come and stop through.
He said Angela blacked out. Yeah, she sure did. Her ass went cray cray.
Yep, I'm not looking at the chat, but hey Duchess, because I'm getting my getting the notes ready so that I could take our HOH predictions. So today is the predictions for, I guess, for next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I need to even look to see what
Why
date
you
is it gonna be next week. So that'll
why you
be our predictions for the 22nd. Go ahead.
why you doing that? I'm gonna read the chat.
Okay.
Say I would like to see Haley out the door next. Me too. I really I can't stand her. I really can't. I tried, but I just can't. Her whole attitude is just ugh. And then Miss Whistledown said I can put money Angela going up this week. No, she not. That's my girl. She ain't going nowhere. That's just Kelly Love. I already know, so won't touch it. Oh yeah, don't say nothing. Shh.
Y'all, and I'm just realized this month is really going by fast because now I'm setting up our predictions for next week, and that's already the 22nd.
God damn.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm at about the last 2 weeks of my 39th year. Okay. Let me go ahead and okay, so for the HOH, for some reason, let me look back at the picture to see who I think might could get HOH. For some reason, I'm saying Kamu.
You saying Kamu?
Yeah, that's just what just came to my mind. Just off the rip. Kamu, because now that he had to realign himself because of his his other alliance, I feel like that should give him incentive to be trying to win HOH this week. So that's why I'm thinking him. So let me go ahead and put him down. And then who I think is going to be leaving, I had Haley predicted to leave this week, and I believe I'm gonna keep her there for next week too. Because it just seemed like the way the game is going,
Mm-hmm.
that they gonna go after Haley again just because she didn't get out this time. A lot of times it's easier for them to just keep going after the same target until they finally get that person out. That's my thought. What about you?
All right, HOH. I'm gonna go with. Let me see. I'm gonna
You
say.
know what I think is funny too, DC? For all the people that watch the live feeds when they hear us make these predictions and they know damn well who the HOH is already, I think that's funny.
Uh, I'm gonna go with. I want to say nah. Let me say Devin.
Okay. Devins ain't a bad choice, to be honest. Devins. All right. And then who do you think is gonna leave for HOH? Who
I
you gonna
think.
think
I
is
think
gonna
they.
be evicted?
I think they're gonna go after the Camu
Oh, Camu. Interesting. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't be targeting Camu right now because who does Camu really have? He
because
kind of jumped ship and abandoned everything that he had going on.
Haley gonna be mad he didn't use the veto, and she's going to get people to vote him out for that.
Oh, got you. That makes sense. Yeah, for me, I'm thinking Camu has more incentive to win now going forward because of that veto thing, too. So, okay, let me go ahead and for this picture, I need to screenshot it so I could load it up in here.
Miss Whistle down. Stop talking about Angela. That's not cool.
Forget Angela. I'm so ready for her to
What's
go
up,
home.
Bond Dog? What's up?
Well, this is what I gotta say. I think that DC is way too overprotective of Angela. She is. She won't let nobody give a critique to Angela, nothing.
Stop. Leave her
Everything
alone.
that you say about Angela got to be good. And I be like, what?
This is my third season, and she been hanging in there.
They keep bringing her rump back. Despite everything, they let her keep coming back every single year. Which is almost like she probably one of the real icons. They keep bringing her back, her rump back every year. Let
See,
me delete this one and let me put this new one in with our predictions. Okay. So that's loading up here now. So then I'll be able to switch that out. And Miss Whistledown did say she wanted to put Miss Whistledown, how can you get on our chart when you probably already know what's happening because you watch the live feeds? Do you
right
already know what's happening? Hmm.
now, I don't watch the live feeds. Duchess.
Okay, so then Angela did put who's leaving, either Angela or Haley. Okay, so that's her. So I think that's her prediction of Angela or Haley leaving. So let me make sure I put that on the note. Okay, evicted Angela.
She got to put one. She can't put two.
Well, whistle down. DC don't want you to put.
She can put. She can
DC don't want you to put two.
put Haley. She ain't got to put Angela.
Oh nope, I'm leaving both of them.
Nope. Angela is not on there. She got Haley.
So, oh, and Duchess. So DC is a casual viewer, but I do watch the live feeds. Like right now, once we are done with this recap, I'm gonna then go and look at the live feeds to see what's going on. I always have to wait to take a look at my live feeds immediately after we do this show because I gotta keep myself from being spoiled. Talent came back. Let me bring him up. Hey,
Hey,
Talent.
hey,
Hmm.
real quick. I think you need to explain to Miss Whistledown exactly what you mean by no spoilers. Um, I thought you did several times, but I see her still kind of communicating things. So you may want
Oh,
to.
okay. Now, see, I when she was communicating, I was thinking those were her predictions, so that's why I didn't bother because I figured that the it's her prediction, but maybe she is a live feeds watcher, and that's where she messed up. Oh no, she said she don't watch the live feeds. That's what she put.
Well, how did? Oh, okay. I'm not going to say anything, but ask her. Does he know who the head of household and who's been nominated?
Well, she did not make a head of household prediction with me here. She only made a prediction of who she thought was leaving. So my assumption is she probably already done peeked in on some form of social media to already know who the head of household is,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
she was just
I
still
think you need to
predicting
make
who
it
was
clear.
going.
Yeah, I think you need to make it clear that no spoilers for people. Now, I believe everybody should be up to date when this show starts, but
Hmm.
people have lives, so it is
Hmm.
what it is. But
Yeah.
anyway, I gotta go.
Thank you, talent. Yeah, Miss Whistledown. Be careful not to do spoilers. So I guess you might have typed something up in here. But DC will be fine. DC always say that people be trying to cheat, but ain't nobody trying to cheat.
I'm sorry. I feel like they paid for me. That's okay.
Say that again, Jay Dunn.
I said you be saying that people be trying to cheat. I said, but ain't nobody trying to cheat whenever they be looking at the live feeds.
Yeah, because then you know what's gonna happen.
Hmm. Well,
But
for
see, I don't
Whistledown.
really no. What it is I really don't have time to watch the live feed because I have my
Hmm.
grandbaby, and I have other things I have to do throughout the day, and the weekend. So it's like I really don't have time to sit down and listen and watch. Then I got to keep up with the YouTube streets at the same time. That's just too damn much for me.
Gotcha. Also, Miss Whistledown did put a prediction. So what and she put she don't watch the live feeds. This is just her predictions. So okay,
She
let
said
me put her
Barrett.
to.
Oh, I can see Barrett being head of household because
Yeah, I'm gonna put 1 second, Duchess. I see you back there. Um, Barrett. And she said Barrett or who else?
she said Barrett. She think Barrett for the
Or
HO,
Yash.
but it could be Yosh. You got to
Okay.
pick one. Long as it ain't, you're not eliminate my
Okay.
folks.
Duchess is back here. Let me
She
see.
said,
Okay,
"Okay,
there it is.
Angela." Okay.
Hey, Duchess.
Hey, what's going on?
How you
Nothing.
doing,
It's
Dutch?
good to see you. I
You
guess
as
you're a
well.
feeds watcher. Don't you watch feeds, Duchess?
I do watch the feed. But the
Okay.
thing about it, but I also watch this thing called what is it? Joker's Update. So they always say
Oh,
who's
I
this.
love Joker's update. Yeah, I go check that website a lot, and especially pretty much every morning, like the newspaper, to figure out what you missed. And then also I follow a lot of those types of websites on Twitter
Okay.
because they update on Twitter too.
So my thing is, so even though I know who's gonna be, well, who's up for this and who's up for that, is you don't actually see how I mean you know the challenges that they was in, but you don't actually see it. So it's really not a spoiler for me, even though I know who's head of household, who got the veto, who got this and all this kind of shit. But it's cool to actually like, okay, let's go back to when Lala won. So I was like, oh shit, Lala got head of household,
Uh
but you
huh.
didn't know exactly how she wanted. Did she give it up to Camus or all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff? So it was good to actually see how she got it, even though I know she was gonna actually get it.
Gotcha. And see, that was one of the things that I was explaining to DC too about the beauty of it, like these big explosive house meetings and stuff. You get to
Hmm.
see all that real time. And then I was telling DC if like in the past with Angela and all that crying. They added Angela crying for like 2 minutes on the show, but Angela done been crying for 6 hours. And that's why I'm like, DC really don't know how Angela be acting up.
Don't be
But
talking about her like that. Damn.
Angela is she is definitely good for the show,
hmm
as far as her antics and stuff like that. But baby, when she blew up on Haley, I was like, oh my God, 'cause it was so nice. Oh, Haley, I in the bathroom crying. Oh, I love you, Haley. Ooh, 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 ooh. And Haley was like, girl, you shot out my mom and my daddy, and then you gonna pull this shit. Oh, well, I'm trying to forgive myself. Baby, Haley, when they was all in that room, and Haley said one wrong thing. And baby, Angela went off. That's a bitch move. How dare you, Haley? How she was going off. And then
hmm
when Lala came to grab her, baby, it continue on out into the room. So that's the thing about when you see those blow ups, and you know Lala came and grabbed her, but baby, it continued on into the kitchen. They was going, oh that, woo, that Angela will black out on you quickly.
That's what I saw. How she was just, even with this week, as far as Haley, because she was just crying about Haley. Yeah, about her having a lot of Haley,
Mm-hmm.
but then got pissed off that Haley lied on her
Mm-hmm.
to D. Girl,
Exactly.
she went ham. She went
What?
ham, but it's like she owe you a lie. Didn't you just lie to her now? Angela is just an entitled somebody. She's
Yeah,
something else.
she really is. And with Haley, see, I don't like how Haley came at Taylor about those damn sugar-free candies or whatever it was. She
Oh
added
yeah.
so much extra on there. Haley, I mean, Taylor just said, I don't want the candy. And then she go upstairs to my, oh, she talking about she don't want my goddamn motherfucking candy and all. I'm sorry for cussing. I know this is a family show.
No, no,
Um,
I'm happy that you telling DC how it really is.
yeah.
They cuss and everything up on their live feeds.
Ooh,
And then
baby.
that's how also you can tell who CBS is kind of wanting to win,
Mm-hmm.
because you will notice that CBS be editing their favorites a certain way and then editing the ones that they don't like that much in a different way.
Yeah,
It's strange how they cut it up.
cause somebody was getting ready to talk yesterday,
Hmm.
uh, and see, I can't watch the live feeds because they be doing too much whispering, and I gotta turn the damn TV up sky high, and it might be. I say, no, I'll catch it when I catch a child. I'll record this shit and I'll catch it whenever. But they will. Someone could talk and they could be given like vital information, but they'll go to that "we'll be right back" stuff, and I was like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, where they break it up to where, yeah, that I guess they don't want us to know certain things. Like for instance, on the feeds, DC, like during whenever they are actually playing a competition or something, it'll say we'll be right back, and you don't get to see the competition play out.
exactly,
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
also they be singing up in there, or at least they used to have a bad habit of singing up in there. And because the songs are copyright, Big Brother
mm-hmm.
turn off the live feeds and say we'll be right back, because you can't be singing Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
DC.
why that's why
What's
they
up?
be making up their own corny little songs and stuff, because they really can't sing regular music.
You
Wow.
know I do that real fast, honey. DC, you think I can make it up in Big Brother?
I think you can. I think you and Jada should go.
So
I
Stop
would
trying to
go,
put me to go.
but I
I
ain't
told
passing.
you no.
I can't do no competition, but I would go.
my mouth. I can't hold water. I'll be
But
cussing them
see,
out so bad.
if we three go and get two more people to come with us,
But I no, like legit for Duchess, I could see him going, especially considering how Jason was, and Jason really was showing out over there. I think that you would be a favorite. I
I didn't
really
like
do.
Jason. I didn't like Jason. Jason was putting on too much. I mean, I understand the whole he's flamboyant, but he was just putting on extra fucking fairy dust. And I'm like, oh, I'm sick of you. And
You
then
and I ended up finding out on the unlock that Frankie Grande is his best friend, and that said it
yeah,
all. Cause I
yeah.
used
ugh,
to couldn't stand to watch Frankie on the live feed.
oh my
He
God.
was
But
too much.
Frankie wasn't as eccentric as he was though. Eccentric, I mean, he knew how to calm it down a little bit, but Jason was just too much. And then he was, you know, how he was calling Kamu and them, hey girl, Miss Thing, and all that kind of shit. Now, when they start misgendering you, then everything will be homophobic. And see, that's what I
Mhm.
didn't like about him. Girl, okay, girl, and clapping his hand. So I'm like, okay, when they get to your ass, then you'll be crying to my, oh, they homophobic, they don't like the gays. I was like, when you up there acting like a big ass sissy in their damn
Mhm.
face and saying certain things. And then when they get you, then you'll be like, ugh, homophobic. So
Well,
anyway,
I did actually end up calling something homophobic. So it's funny that you said that, Duchess, because I thought it was homophobic when Jason got put on the block. I think as the replacement nom, when Camus called him a zesty something. What did he say?
he
Zesty
did, yeah,
something.
he did call him Zesty. Yeah.
Right, and I thought that that was kinda homophobic, but I guess it appeared that way on television to me, but that's because I really haven't been watching how he was being up in the house on the feeds, on the live feeds, because I only tune in to the cliff notes. Like, another thing, DC, how you could treat the live feeds too. For me, I will go to, let's say, Joker's Update. Joker's Update actually put time stamps, like times of day when different things happen. And that way you can go into the live feeds and go to the timestamp. Kind of just like how people do on YouTube.
Hmm.
You can go to whatever fight. Joker's Update says, hey, so and so was fighting at midnight. Then you already know, just go into the feeds and go to the timestamp for midnight, and then you can see the fight like that.
Yeah, I like Joker's update. Because like right now, I know who got head of household. I know who's nominated for eviction, and then tomorrow, or either later on tonight or either tomorrow afternoon sometime. Because they on the East Coast, so they're on the West Coast, so they 2 hours ahead of me.
Hmm.
So behind me. So at like probably around 1 o'clock, no, I'd say probably around 3 o'clock, they'll probably get up to play
The veto
the
comp.
the veto comp, and then
Hmm.
you'll know probably around 3 o'clock tomorrow if they use the veto or did someone else that was nominated got the veto or whatever. So
Yeah, that's what I was letting DC know too, because you got to imagine they have to do all this stuff for real time so that they
Mhm.
could show it on the episode that you about to watch tonight, DC.
yeah.
So
Okay.
that's the reason why Duchess know everything, because all of that footage got to be shot like over yesterday and day before yesterday so that it could be edited for the show that we gonna
Exactly.
watch
Yeah.
tonight.
Okay.
So for Wednesday, so all what
Mhm.
they did on what Thursday night.
Mhm.
Mhm.
All the Thursday night stuff, they capturing certain things. Friday night, they capturing certain things. They ain't really doing anything that's going to be edited tonight because tonight is just going to be. They're not doing the veto. They're doing the veto competition, but they're not going to.
Well, the HOH,
I mean
because
the
once the
HO. Yeah,
HOH,
that's right.
mhm,
Yeah, the
yeah, the
HOH.
HOH to win be tonight.
Yeah, but they're
Mhm.
they're they're going to be editing everything for Wednesday when we see who the HOH nominates and all that kind of stuff. So. But it's fun, baby. Because when I was listening to you earlier, you was talking about there's a lot of people that watch Big Brother. My baby Rick Reed. I didn't know. I said this helper didn't call my name. How dare she, honey?
I forgot, Duchess. I am so sorry. But you're right. Rick do you. I've been telling DC, it be a lot of y'all. And that's why I wanted to try to collaborate with a double eviction eventually, to really talk, because them double evictions be
Oh,
happening real fast.
and they're
And
good. They're
uh-huh.
good.
And I think that would be a good little panel discussion for everybody to speak about whenever it happens, cuz I'm sure it's going to be happening here shortly,
Probably in
cuz
the
they
next two
always start
weeks.
it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
probably in the next 2 weeks because they're gonna stop the three people going up there.
The BB blockbuster.
Yeah, when that
Yeah.
stop, that's when they're gonna do the whole probably when that stop, they'll probably do the double eviction coming up after that. A week or probably the same week or whatever that's gonna come up. But those double evictions are good. I don't understand why they so huggy. So when they come down,
Mhm.
everyone doesn't have to, they just go around the room hugging. Just hug the person that won. Don't hug the loser when they come back from the BB bring back or whatever the hell you call it. Everybody got to hug each other. Just hug the winner and sit your ass back down so we continue on with the show.
Well, I think they do all that hugging because they don't know if that's going to be their last time seeing the person.
Right.
Cuz
True
you
Well,
that.
no.
already know,
Oh, well, yeah,
once
true.
these
Yeah.
people leave pre-eviction, I mean pre-jury, CBS send them on a plane ticket back home, and then you'll never see them again unless they decide to go to some type of event, you know?
Now, what did you think about Lyric?
So I had high hopes for Lyric. Believe it or not, I had her on my list of my top 3 people when me and DC first made our list the very first week. It's right here.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I had Drew, Lyric, and Kamu as the top overall 3. So I was quite shocked that she got herself involved in the
Did you
showmance and threw a
hold
damn
on?
target on her back
What?
Did you
because
already
she
go
was a
somewhere?
lawyer.
No.
Oh,
Go.
you sure?
Yeah, go.
Oh, all right.
You see what I'm doing?
Okay.
All right.
Cause she
Um.
Cause she was a lawyer, so I guess from her lawyer part, I expected her to be
Oh,
much
this,
better
yeah,
at the
with
game.
yeah.
I think I was thinking that she was gonna be the lawyer like the black girl that was just the lawyer. I think Ashley from last season
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
did really good and won. So that's why I
hmm
was thinking that Lyric was gonna be able to do that, but she didn't.
No, she was so meek and because she'll flip on your ass in a minute. She
Real
Hmm.
go
quick.
to in one room, she'll be this way. She going to the kitchen, she another way. She going up to the HOH room, and she'll just throw you under the bus. Period. She was horrible, baby.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I thought it was funny how she would call herself up in there consoling Taylor, talking about, "Are you close to your mom? What would your mom say to you?" Taylor was like, "My mama tell me to come home."
Okay.
That's what black mamas would do. Bring your ass
Uh,
back home. Stop all that
uh,
crying.
so that was good. All right, ladies. Miss DC, it was good chat with you. Jake Dunn, it was good chatting with you. Hello, chat. How y'all
Yeah.
doing? The
Thank you for
Duchess is
coming up
still.
here giving us the
Yeah.
perspective because the way that you explained the live feeds to the people that don't understand it was very perfect. So I'm happy you was able to do it.
And
Right.
it's not a bad thing to watch the live feed. It's not a bad thing to watch a spoiler. I mean, to watch like to know what's going on. Only because you watch previews on trailers or whatever. You know what's going to happen, but you don't know exactly how it happened. So, getting a little spoiler, you know what's going to happen, but it's fun to like see it come to fruition and all that kind of stuff. So, all
Oh,
Hmm.
right.
Thank you,
we're gonna
Duchess.
actually campaign to get you on there some kind of way.
Sure, I can't do it because I mean I'm going in the door cussing. I'm going in the door cussing. You can't stop me from singing. I'll be singing. So they be like, Kelly, you have to stop singing. Kelly, no singing in the house. And I was like, fuck you. I was like, shit, I can't do it. So anyway, y'all have a great day.
You do the
All right,
same.
thank you. You too, Duchess.
Bye, baby.
Bye. Okay, I'm gonna put Duchess down to make sure that it don't mess up the sound. So we had two special guests today. We did
I
good
know,
for
right?
ourselves today, DC. It was perfect timing because we was able to get through our episodes, but then to have Talent and then Duchess to come with their perspectives was really, really good. And I
Yeah.
think it's going to be helpful to the people that watch the replay, so that they could get a better understanding of, yeah, the feeds and how it all work. Because, yeah, they got to film it all in order to have the footage ready to edit it for the episodes that's about to come up this week.
Right. Did you put down Miss Whistle down prediction? She said,
Yes, I did. I just haven't uploaded the new picture up in here. But yeah, as she was putting it, I typed it. She said Barrett was her HOH prediction, and then her eviction prediction is either Angela or Haley. So I put that on the chart. I just didn't screenshot it and load it up in here to the StreamYard yet.
okay.
I'll probably have it loaded sometime before next week whenever we present it. But yeah, it was a really good show today. Um, Very good stuff. So yeah, well, I guess we could do our final words because we got our predictions. We got everything now.
All right. I would like to thank everybody that came through. We had a nice, you know, visitors that came through and help us out with the show because there's other spots, other things we don't see that they saw.
Hmm.
So it was good. I like to thank everybody, and that's
Yeah,
about
I
it.
specifically really do appreciate that feeds breakdown because who knew that Lyric was really being a snake slithering around, being one way up in the kitchen, one way up in the HOH room, one way here, one way there. And then even with Angela doing all these blow ups and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
it's real. I think my biggest thing that I was shocked to hear was about Jason. Cause I honestly didn't think Jason was that flamboyant. I thought that because I watched the live feeds when Frankie was there, he had got on my nerves so much to where I didn't even want to watch him on there. And then especially when he came out telling his sister was Ariana Grande,
Mhm.
every single time he was on there bragging about his sister. I was so sick of hearing about Ariana.
Right.
It was crazy because he kept talking about her 24/7, using that to help his own game. But yeah. Well, I really don't have any other final words. I think DC just said her final words, so I guess we can get on up out of here.
Right. Y'all have a good, blessed Sunday.
All right. Yeah. Have a good one, and we'll see y'all next week. And
Peace
thank
out.
y'all for y'all's patience. Bye.
See ya.